Hello everybody, my name's Tris and this is Double O'Neill. This channel is all about model railways and my hobby being shared with you, so kind of like a vlog. So let's show you what's coming up. I think you've got the picture on that one. We've got 3D printers, which is my new one. It's kind of been really good for making parts for my railway. We have the Water Cress Line, which is absolutely brilliant. I have my new Lord Nelson class Lord Rodney from the Southern Railway in the BR livery. I have some coaches to go with it, and also we have some cork work for the 009 layout, which has been brilliant. Not just cork work, I've laid some track down, but it's only kind of temporary at the ends of where the turntable is. But what I'll do is we'll go on to each little bit and I'll talk to you about them once we're there. So that's great. So first, I wanted to talk to you about my most exciting favourite one, which is the Lord Nelson class. I'm going to pick it up really carefully and try not to drop it. Do it on a piece of track, might be a bit nicer this way, and show you this absolutely wonderful, wonderful engine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to balance it there. I'm going to put my hand behind it and you'll be in focus. But what I've got is other footage. We're going to put that on right now and have a look. I bought this from Rails of Sheffield. I really fancied treating myself. I'd saved a little bit of money and I wanted to buy myself a new engine. So I've been buying lots and lots of old locos and that's great. But I'd really like a new one. And the reason I want to try a new one is because of I know how much better they run based on ones that I had a couple of years ago. I'm trying to think when I last had a new engine and I can't. I don't know when that was. I think my parents might have bought me one about 2 years ago. So I think that's where we are. So I got this Lord Rodney, firstly because it was on the bargain page of the Rails of Sheffield bit, and I was just having a hunt through, and I've always fancied that look. I've seen like the King Arthur Southern Railway engines when I've been to the Bluebell Railway in the past, I believe. And I saw this one and it's got the cool, I kind of, you got the ears on the front, the smoke deflectors. They look brilliant with the large chimney. Like looking at the model size, it looks about 8mm or 7mm, that hole for the chimney. Really impressive. I'd love to go see one and listen to it to see how that sounds when it gets going. And then there's the double bogey tender. That looks brilliant. It looks a bit more like what you see in some of the American tenders, and I guess that can handle, I guess, the corners and whatever. I guess there's attributes to it, and I guess I'll learn a bit more about it. It's classed as a 7P, which I guess is its kind of, is it its loading weight or whatever. I'm sure there'll be many of you telling me about it, but I understand this engine was originally let's say created and developed to replace the King Arthur class, so it can handle the jobs of the King Arthur but do that bit more and be a bit more powerful. And my brother was saying to me when I saw him that it was just as powerful as the Castle class at the time, so that's kind of cool. So really pleased with it. So what we'll do is we'll give it a little run. What we'll do is do that in the kitchen and we'll run it backwards and forwards, have a little look at it and have some fun with that. So Rails packaging was very good. That's Rails of Sheffield. Check out their website. I went on their bargains page for this. I paid what I felt was a good amount of money for this. It was comparable to some other websites, but I went with Rails because they had some other bits on there. You would have seen another loco that I hid from you. But getting at the packaging, I was happy. It's all kind of that traditional sleeve inside a kind of strange blister shape which holds the engine so well. There's some foam in the right places to hold it, so I was really pleased actually with it. But let's take a closer look at this wonderful engine. The first thing that really struck me when I saw my brother's version of this was the double bogey tender, which I guess is more like the American style ones. Don't know who did it first, but I thought it's kind of cool, so they can go around with these really tight corners whilst having all those wheels on, which is cool. And then obviously looking at the rest of the detail, it's wonderful. It's a Lord Rodney, as you can see. 30863 is the name, well, the number that's on the side. But all the valve gear and everything on the side looks really, really good. The way the wheels are finished, the axles come through painted really nicely. You can actually see a couple of greasy marks from me, not from there. I thought I'd washed my hands well enough. But looking at the front of the smoke box looks good. The chimney is huge. That really stands out as well for me. And then the cab detail is absolutely brilliant. When I was looking at it, and they've got all the regulators and the brakes and all the different bits and bobs just painted so well. Let's get up my BT's controller, give it a little run forwards, see how that looks. I couldn't believe how slow I could run it. I know I'll be talking about this a lot, but it runs really, really slowly, really, really well. And very happy with it. And this hasn't had any running in yet. I'm going to do that on my layout upstairs. So obviously forward and reverse looks the same, but let's pop into the loft and have a look at how it goes. So here we are in the loft. It's always pretty handy. We just go up the ladder and up we are. It's a bit warm as it normally is this time of year, but it's very bearable. Right now, no fans or anything on. I feel a little bit warm, but I'll be alright. When I went to my brother's yesterday, as part of my trip down to the Water Cress Line, seeing my dad for his birthday, I was able to go up into his loft and he had some great work going on. He has a Southern Railway layout, and he has some beautiful engines. He has a Sir Tristram in his lineup, and hopefully one day he will let me do a video of his railway. It's very kind of large. It's got a large loft and it's got a big loop where that goes round, so I'm hoping I can take some footage of that. But whilst we were up there, he had a large air conditioner, a sealed unit, and I'm thinking I want to get one of them, so I might get one and it can just take the edge out of it. And I was standing in front of it and it was very warm up there. You know, it was a reasonably warm day yesterday when obviously I was there, and standing in front of the air conditioner, I was pretty happy. I'm thinking that'd be perfect for in here, and it's a smaller loft space, so it should be able to manage that a lot better. Obviously on a really hot day, it's not going to do it. But anyway, we're in the loft. Let's stop talking about heat and air conditioning, and we'll take a look at this beautiful Lord Nelson going around. I'm really pleased with how he runs actually. I've been having a little go already, and let me show you. With his BR coaches, I think it's crimson and custard is the colouring on it. And we'll just get a bit closer. I'll take you on the tripod. I'm sure you'll appreciate it. And you'll see just how nice it looks. The one thing that I really wanted to talk about is actually how nicely this engine works. Obviously we'll keep them on there. I found that when pulling away you can have very, very low speeds. I've got a comp speed controller, so you hear a little bit of buzzing with it. With the BT's controller I had, it was much smoother. So putting a tiny bit of power in there, you can see that I'm not encouraging anything, it's just pulling away. Let's see if we can go a bit slower. You can see the wheels. It's buzzing, but it's not moving, so it's under load at the moment, so I'll go a tiny bit more. So it's impressive. I don't have any of my other locos that can run this slowly. I'm understanding that we've got pickup points on the double bogies in here, so I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, so there's 8 wheels plus the extra 12, they're 12, 6, and I don't think the bogies at the front have got pickups, but I'm extremely impressed at just how slow that can pull, because I know DCC locos can do that really, really well. But no, I'm really chuffed to bits with that, if I'm honest with you. I didn't think I'd have a loco that would ever run this slowly. Obviously a bit of dirty track might not help, but I generally try and keep the track pretty nice. So what we do is we'll speed them up. And it's just gorgeous. I'm really impressive at the quality of this and how well it's working. But I've turned up to a little bit of a higher speed, and it runs beautifully as it's going along. I guess I haven't had a new engine for a long time, so for me this is a huge contrast to some of my older models. We'll watch it come around here. It hasn't got stuck yet on any dirty track. We'll watch him come under here. Looking absolutely fantastic. I love the smoke deflectors that send the air up in a different way to keep that smoke out the driver's eyes. Massive chimney. Ooh, it's focusing on some product there. It's gorgeous. We'll watch it go through the station. What we do is we'll leave that running for a while. We'll do some laps. We can do some nice running shots. Come past our pannier. See my Didcot Railway mug there. I've had that for years and it's a very nice mug. If you ever go to Didcot Railway, pick up some of their mugs. They're brilliant. I always love these shots. Trees in the background. I know my hill's not very good, but it will improve. I do have some material for it now. What we'll do is I'll pop a bit of music on. You can enjoy some nice running shots of this engine going around and showing its stuff.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
I always enjoy getting up into the loft and running the engine round. I enjoy taking the shots of where I pan along with the engine as you see the wheels go round. I enjoy doing the slow motion ones. I know some of you might not enjoy it as much, but I really enjoy doing the slow motion shots when you see all that locomotion going. It looks cool. But giving it a run and seeing how slow I could go with it, I was really impressed. So I'm looking forward to doing more and more laps with that engine. What's next? Well, I went down to the Water Cress Line because Southern Railways. I had a chat with my dad. It was his birthday coming up, so met up with him on a Saturday. Went to the Water Cress Line. Obviously, with COVID and things, we can't do as much as we wanted to do before. But what we thought we'd do is do a bit of, let's say, traditional train spotting, and we picked some areas to watch them come on the line, and that was really, really nice. I didn't catch too much, if I'm honest. I haven't really done this before in regards to chasing after them, but we had the time schedule, so I watched some of them come in as well as go away. But what we do is we'll watch a few clips. I enjoyed the sound of one of them, which was a Class 50 that came in, and on the last episode you would have seen I had my Class 50, so watching it just pull away and that you hear the engines kind of like that kind of fantastic noise that they make when they get going, that throbbing from the engine was awesome as it got going. So I'm going to keep that sound bite as well, which I can put on if I ever get enough bits together and actually have just, you know, my model going away, and I'll put that sound with it. So that was really fun. I recommend anyone going just to do that. We didn't take a ride on the engines, but one thing I want to do is try and donate to their page, because it's always nice to, you know, have these places existing, and without our kind of contributions, donations, visits and spending in their shops, obviously it's really hard for them to go, but you know all about this anyway. But yeah, I want to get down to Bluebell Railway as well sometime, and so I want to go see some more of the Southern Railway engines at another point. But anyway, I'll stop waffling, let's go watch those clips and have some fun. So let's take a little look at my 009 layout. It's pretty simple what I've been up to. It's the area that I had left to do. So we have the line that goes up to the turntable, and then after that we have the small siding, like what comes off it, so I don't know what you'd call it, the bit that comes off the turntable, but basically a bit of track comes off the turntable that goes into the engine shed. So I've got them done. I've powered them up as well, so I did some soldering on there, and after doing that, obviously I need to check it, and then I had the line that went to the workshop. I put some power on there as well, so then I can have them separately, you know, working, as well as they need to be powered up anyway. And then I had fun with it because I ran the pannier 009 up to the turntable, kind of poked it on my finger, spun it round. Do what I need to. I haven't powered the turntable yet, so I might redo that sometime, but that would be a case of some more printing and working it out, but that's for another day. And then obviously I poked it across such tracks, so you can watch it now as it's going backwards and forwards, and I don't know, it was really fun for me. And then I got the Bachmann Baldwin out and around that backwards and forwards, and just tried them going into the engine shed and imagined what it would be like for me when I actually do enjoy doing this in the future. So that was really fun, if I'm honest with you, and it makes me want to get a large turntable for the 00 gauge eventually, but it's all baby steps. I still have so much to do on my layout, but that's okay. If you're new to this hobby and you're probably thinking, oh, I've just got a loop going around. No, that's brilliant. You have no idea how much fun you're going to have coming up. Even now I do certain bits and I want to redo bits and I want to change this and change that, and that's okay. Just have fun, just do it. It doesn't matter if it takes you the next 20 years. That's fine. It's either in your room, in a spare room, in your garage, in your loft, it's under your bed. Doesn't matter. Take as much time as you want. Just enjoy it. That's the whole thing. Was focus on these goals to have this thing that looks a certain way, but we always forget about the journey that gets us, and we do that in life, don't we? We always forget how important it is to actually enjoy the way that you get somewhere. So yeah, so for me, that's the important bit. So with the 009, my next step, and I think hopefully be on the next video, I'm not going to be doing any ballast work on that tractor shed because I need to finish the turntable, because the turntable needs to have the mechanism put in underneath. So I'm going to do like my second version of it at some point, but that'll be done on my new 3D printer. And let's get on to that. It's a Creality 3D, it's a Creality Ender 3 V2. Which 3D prints, and it's an FDM type printer like you've seen in some of my other videos, which squashes the plastic out with bits of heat, and it lays on top of the previous bit of plastic and stacks up a bit like kind of string Lego or something like that. If you haven't seen that before, if you've seen it before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So this new printer, it seems pretty good. I built it up over probably like half an hour. I kind of put some bits put some bits together back to front, and I think I did that a few times. Had to take bits off. You look at the instructions and then you do the man thing of like, oh, I'll be fine, I'll just build it this way, yeah, that's fine, I understand. And then you realize, no, you didn't look at the instructions properly. Arguably the instructions could be better, but fine, that is what it is. But with that then all together, I did a test print. And I printed a Benchy, which is a little boat, which is common throughout the 3D printing world, and you'll find them on like Thingiverse and stuff like that. But if you ever want to know a bit more about 3D printing, just fire me a message and I can, give you any hints and tips. I'm not an expert, okay? I'm not an expert at all. With this newer V2 over the Ender 3 that I have been using with its upgrades on, I found that with the glass it's nice, the stepper motors are quieter, but the fans are quite noisy on this one, but I will be keeping it in the garage eventually. And I need to work out the resolution because I'm not getting smooth corners, I'm getting kind of 50p piece corners, but in a very smooth way, let's call it. So I need to learn a bit more about that. But ultimately, it's been working really well so far. It's got a glass bed, so I'm assuming things will be flatter or better or print better, I don't know. But my next plan is to get like one of the Prusa Mark IIIs. But anyway, I'll stop talking about that. For me, I've had a really good time. Just this week, I've been away with work a bit. but I was able to have some fun with my dad chasing trains. We went to Auto Model Shop afterwards. I got myself some Rail Match paints because I bought myself an old Hornby Class 37 that I want to restore. I don't even know if it works yet, but I want to paint it. I just thought I'd get myself a cheaper model, give it a paint up, have a go at weathering because people have been encouraging me to weather, and I might even look at sorting out getting an airbrush going and painting it myself, which would be good. The other things that I got from Auto Model Shop were just some simple things because it's not too far from the Water Cress Line. I got some like coarse turf, some olive green underbrush, some static grass by Pico, and that's the 2mm spring grass. But I also wanted to get some different 2mm grass, some autumn grass, because I've got summer stuff, which it's like emerald green. It's so bright. Then I got some fine turf, you know, in these little packets here. And then what's the last thing I got? I got some forest blend. So when I do my 009 layout, I can have some fun playing with some different colours and rocks and different ballasts and stuff like that. Yeah, so for my 009 layout, on the next thing I want to do, didn't quite get to that point, is do the cave entrance, which is what I'm going to 3D print, and then do a small structure around it. I can screw it on. And then after that, I'm going to build up kind of a small mountain bit to go with the pass that's coming up to No Good, which is the name of the railway, and then I can start building up a small backboard and edging. But I'm going to work out how to get it back up into the loft if I make it too big, so I need to be careful. But once I've done that, I can start laying grass down in places and making it actually look like a model railway. I need to work out what I'm doing with trees and how simple am I going to keep it. Am I going to go to town and put loads of buildings on and all these different things? But that's something I can work out, and if I put it all on and it's too much, we can always take it off. I can chisel off the old grass, I can put new bits on. You suddenly start thinking, oh, but once it's like that forever. It's like, no, it's not. It's just more work, but we're not doing this because it's hard work, it's because it's enjoyable, so you just keep going. So yeah, just keep enjoying doing what you're doing. One of the reasons why I do this hobby is partly it gives me a closer connection to my family who are more into engines, but through doing that I kind of fell in love with it all over again, rediscovering my hobby from when I was a youngster. I think I probably stopped because I didn't think it was that cool. I got into RC cars and I went from there, and then I realised what a fool I was when I got older, and yeah, I absolutely love this. I wish I never stopped. There's so much I don't know, but maybe it's a good thing. I get to discover a lot of the stuff that a lot of you already know. So yeah, as if there's any of you that have just caught this video, let's say it's popped up and you've tried to watch it and you're seeing it and you've always thought about doing a model railway, there's nothing stopping you. If you've got a kitchen worktop, you could get yourself a loop or put it on the floor, avoid the fluff, but a hard floor, and just run it round. And when you hear the clickety clack of the wheels going over the joins and everything, going through the points and things, you'll love it and you'll want to do this. Yeah, that's why I do it, because it's fun and it stops you kind of, let's say, getting down. Like, sometimes life can be a bit tricky and it can really lean on you, and then when you go up into the loft or just start looking at the engines, you forget about all of that. You get to really enjoy some of the nostalgic points of life. So anyway, I'll get off that kind of deep point. But no, thank you for all your support. My subscribers, you're always brilliant. The comments that come through, it's always very encouraging, makes me want to do my next video to share with you my journey with model railways, and I look forward to all the future videos sharing my journey with them, because at the same time they're taking care of me and giving me some kind of therapy in life, opposed to having some alcohol at the end of the day or whatever it would take to relieve stress. I don't need to relieve stress, I just go play with my model railways and that's fun. But anyway, I'll stop waffling about that. Thank you very much to my patrons for supporting me as well. The comments that I get from you is also very, very helpful and encouraging. I always put the videos on a bit early for my patrons, for them to have a watch, let me know if there's any problems. So yeah, big thank you to you, you know who you are. Anyway, take care, look after yourselves. I'll see you in probably about 2 weeks. I try and do this every 2 weeks now. It's better for me. It gives me more time to enjoy making the videos. So anyway, I'll see you then. Take care, stay safe. Go visit your local railway if that's what you're thinking about. Just do it, go find it, even if you have to wear a mask and you stand from a distance and watch them go from outside. But anyway, see you soon. Bye.